Today, ideally, will be March 11th. So today should be the 10th anniversary for the Titanfall franchise. Yippee! To quickly give context on just how long that really is. That was when Dark Souls 2 came out. And that was a really fucking long time ago. Like, goddamn. I feel old, despite not being that old. Like, I'm a fucking zoomer. And yet, Jesus Christ, man. It's actually insane. But I can't talk about time. Well, I mean, I can kind of talk about Timefall 1, but I can't show it. At least not my own footage. Because I don't have an Xbox for Titanfall 1, and I'm not going to buy it on Steam. Because those fucking player charts are, they're not great. Like, I can tell you that much. They're not good. They're not good. No. I'm not. No. 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 So we're gonna go with Plan B, which is to just kind of talk about the foundations that the first game had, and how the second game kind of built upon them, made it better, made it more baller. How we're fucking chilling here in Timefall 2 here because of what happened with Timefall 1, where the first game was far from perfect, but it was necessary to give what the second game had, and why the second one is just that goddamn good. But first up, before what? But before that, we're gonna real quick touch up for like, oh my god, voice crack, what the fuck? But before we do that, we're gonna real quick touch up on Respawn's history as kind of a quick little TLDR. Not the full thing, because there are plenty of people who are much better for that, better to talk about it, more qualified than I am. Should be just a short little PowerPoint kind of style thing here, where it's just like a quick touch up before we actually go for the main thing. In 2009, shortly after the release of Modern Warfare 2, Jason West and Vince Zampella, the founders of Respawn, would be fired from Infinity Ward. After their termination from the company, they'd go to found Respawn, where shortly afterwards, multiple Infinity Ward employees would leave the company to go join Respawn, which would then subsequently be acquired by EA, where then they go to then create the first game, not only of the company but of the franchise, Titanfall. Foundations from the first Titanfall were very much in its movement and its combat, with the combat specifically being the pilot versus pilot and the Titan versus Titan, and of course Titan versus pilot. To kind of like the little cat and mouse bit, if you will, if you're so inclined, if you insist. Titanfall 1's movement was very simple, the appetizer of the main course, where it was really just wall running. There was no sliding. There was maybe some bunny hopping for like movements, but there wasn't a whole lot like there is in the second game. Because in the second game was very much upgraded, I guess you could say. Where with the sliding, it kind of opens up the door a lot more on the ability of getting around really fast and maintaining your speed. Because to maintain that speed, you can do a little thing called slide hopping. Whereas think of like bunny hopping for like long time source players. You know what bunny hopping is? It's like that, but you hold the crouch key to maintain that speed, because the minute you touch the ground and you jump again in the slide, it maintains the current speed that you have gained. What? It maintains the current speed you have. It doesn't decrease like it would normally when you just slide or you just jump. It keeps it. It like doesn't add it up, but it's flat. Now there's a lot more tech, like a lot more. I don't personally do it because I don't really know it. I'm not super good at the advanced movement. I know the very bare minimum, but there's a lot. Alongside the previously mentioned slide hopping, there's a source staple bunny hopping, and then there's also other pieces of movement like fizzy strafing, which is seen in speedruns, as well as tap strafing, which is still around to this day in Apex Legends, as well as crouch kicks. There are also the boosts in the game, such as the frag grenade boost, which is mainly used within the gauntlet for faster times. And then for use in multiplayer, there's the gravity star boosting, EPG boosting, as well as edge boosting. My God. So now with the movement done, let's talk about the combat, the sort of the not it's not an appetizer in this case, because with Titanfall 2, the movement isn't an appetizer. It kind of like shares it. It's like the other half of the sandwich. So it's like a big ass Subway foot long. It's the other half. It's the other half this time. Fight vs. Pilot is a major step up from the first game. Where in Titanfall 1 you had like a small section of guns, maybe a small little handful, if you will, a small little handful of weapons. With 2, it's like a you could fit it on the back of a truck. It's a lot more weapons. There's a lot more guns in this game. You got some returning ones like the Hemlock, the G2, the R101. But you got some new contenders. You got the Volt, some machine gun, a nice little zap kind of thing, little zappy zap for SMG. You got the Alternator. You got the Flatline. You got the Mozambique. You got 2 different wingmans this time instead of just 1. And a fuck ton more. There's like more grenades, more perks, more abilities. There's a lot of abilities. Like Titanfall 1, you had the stim, the cloak, and the pulse radar. In Titanfall 2, you got those ones again, but instead of a pulse radar, pulse blade, because pulse radar was kind of busted. But then you have some new ones. You got some new contenders. You got the grapple to go from one place to another really fucking fast. You got the new one. You some other new ones. Like you got the Hollow Pilot. There are no Hollow Pilot players. There are none. Maybe one. Maybe. There are no Hollow Pilot players. Step up Hollow Pilots. You got the Phase Pilot. You can just literally, like as it would imply, phase out of existence for 2 seconds to grant you invulnerability. Allows you to kind of get into a different position that the enemy wouldn't expect. Allows you to get the drop on them for an easier kill. Fuck AWOL pilots. I hate them with every fiber of my body, not in the point where I want to do physical harm to them, but I want to tell you that you are a fucking stinker. To give you a quick summary, AWOL pilots are basically the antithesis of, not really, well, I don't know, is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. If antithesis is the right word. I don't know my fucking vocabulary like I should. But basically, it's the anti-Titanfall. It is where instead of moving around like all these other abilities, you are stationary. You're just fucking standing there or crouching there with your fucking Spitfire, your G2. You see a guy, shoot him like maybe 2 or 3 times, he's gone. He's dead. It covers like a big ass, like not just in front of you, but like a small little cone outwards. Just kind of pans out. Give you that extra bit of cover from the side. And it really fucking sucks. I really hate AWOLs. I really hate AWOLs. Alright. So, with the pilot combat kind of, talked about in that half of the sandwich, let's talk about the kind of the middle part. The kind of like the kind of the meat. The other meat. You got like the 2 different meats in that sandwich. You know how you have like kind of in your sandwiches, you have like a kind of like 2 different kind of meats, like a ham, maybe like a turkey or a pepperoni. This is that pepperoni. The Titan combat is so nice. It is so good. So Titanfall 1, it was based upon 3 different chassis with a couple of different weapons, and as well as abilities like the cluster missiles, stuff like that. And there were some other weapons like the arc thrower or the chain gun. In Titanfall 2, instead of that, it's more of here are a bunch of different Titans that have basically are kind of like those chassis, but they're kind of like heroes, I guess, in a way. Like I have hero shooters, the Titans kind of fit that parameter. Each have their own weapon and abilities. The only thing that they really kind of share in common being the electric smoke, as well as the the general Titan kits, like the cloak eject, the nuclear ejection, the one I forgot what it's called, but the one that gives you a 20% boost to your core upon immediate drop. That one, you know the one. And it kind of creates this sort of dynamic of What do they have? They have a close range. Okay, maybe let me play a long range Titan. They're playing Ronin. I'll play North Star. They're playing Scorch. I'll play Ion. Why not? Why not Ion? Why the fuck not? Playing Monarch. Goddamn. I'm playing Scorch. No, I've played a lot of the Titans. I'm getting them all to like Gen 10, but I have a pretty good handling on a lot of these Titans. The one I've probably put in the most time on is definitely fucking Monarch. Who's at like what, Gen 10, Gen 11? I got the Stoic Dark camo for her, but she's not my favorite Titan. Like that's gonna go to like maybe like North Star or Scorch. Like North Star is just kind of, it's a very satisfying Titan. You got that railgun, right? Like you just kind of you hold it, you're charging it, you get that full charge crit shot, just like boom. It does like so much goddamn damage. It's so nice. It's so nice. But also you can also, you can also in a bit I'll be talking about the mods. You can do something pretty fun with North Star there. Now Scorch is he's not the best, but he's a very fun guy. Got this big old man of fire. Bro literally set you ablaze and just be like, alright, let's get the next one. Oh waiter, more pilots please. That's great. Ooh, that dude's Legion. That dude's Legion is far.
Multiple Titans attacking. Tactical option. Incendiary traps.
Because it's just, it is power. It is literally like, I am the one. I am the big man, the man on fire, Metal Gear Solid 5 if you will. Because he's a fucking big ass Titan, big ass amount of health, but he's also really fucking slow. Like how North Star is like, he's like fast as fuck, but does not need that many shots to go down. That's how the dynamic works. You pick one thing, you got this positive but this negative. You go fast, you don't have a whole lot of health. You have a whole lot of health, but you're really slow. It creates this very interesting, very gripping, kind of like, dynamic combat. Where you're not going to stick to one Titan the whole game most likely. You probably swap between maybe one or two, maybe three Titans to kind of fit a different scenario of what you're going up against. It's so nice. It's not, well, I don't know if nice is the right word, but it's very gripping, very brain think time, very big brain think time. And plus, it's not like it's super fast. It's like the pilot combat where it's like it's done and gone in like maybe a second at most. It's slow. It's a bit more slow, a bit more methodical. Not in like Siege, but just what do they got? Okay, let me do this thing to counter them. Push them and attack. Now pilots aren't completely unable to attack them. They got anti-Titan weapons, as well as the rodeo ability. For anti-Titan weapons, you got the Thunderbolt, the MGL, the Charge Rifle, and some other ones. But I want to talk about the rodeo. The rodeo is interesting, to say the least. On Titanfall 1, it was, you would gun this Titan, expose the weak point, shoot it until it's dead. Until it's dead. You do not have to get off of it. In Titanfall 2, it's a very different story. It is, you climb aboard this Titan, pull out the battery, and then the game hops you off the Titan. You can get back on, but you won't get another battery. You'll throw a grenade into the hole that the battery once was in. Now, with this battery, you got a few options. You can either give it to your teammate for basically positive to the both of you. If you don't have a ready Titan, like you most likely don't, you give it to them. It will it'll give them some health, charge shields, charge core, and charge up your Titan meter to call it down. Now, if you give it to yourself, you would get their benefits. Health, if you're missing any for some reason, shields, and charge to your core. And it's very much a, do I save it for myself if I can last long enough to call it down, or do I give it to a teammate to help them out and also give me a bit more of assistance to get my Titan ready? I think that's a good time to kind of mention how there's a scrap mechanic for a multi-rodeo. Like, instead of how it is now, where it's one pilot on a Titan, you could have, like, maybe almost the entire fucking team on that one Titan just ganking on it, just to completely ruin its day. And I'm so sad it got removed, because that would have been hilarious to do, to be honest. Just have a bunch of pilots gank up on one Titan just to kind of beat its ass. Now, you take all these different elements that are within this game, and you kind of just mix it together. It creates this very chaotic environment, this very chaotic game of just, oh shit, Pet to my left, I gotta get his ass. Oh shit, Titan fucking Scorch to my right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Oh shit, my Titan's ready, and to call it down so I can get in it and face off against this Scorch to fucking survive. It's a game of trailer moments. That's what it is. It's trailer moments to the game. And it's so nice, because you don't get a whole lot of games that are like constant trailer moments. Like maybe every once in a while with a game, you get 1 or 2 trailer moments every now and then. It's not a super common thing. But in Titanfall, it's a constant barrage of trailer moments. And it's awe-striking. It's so cool. It's so nice. It's so fun. I love it. Which brings up a very weird thing that I need to talk about now. Actually, there's a couple weird things I need to talk about. We're talking about the big one, the big boy, the big fucko, the big uh-oh from 2021, the DDoSing. Real quick little rundown for those that don't know. In 2021, Titanfalls 1 and 2 suffered a massive destructive DDoS attack that went on for months, constant, like nobody could play the multiplayer. The DDoSing got so bad, especially for Titanfall 1, that on December 1st of 2021, Respawn made an official announcement of the game's pulling from all storefronts. You could not purchase it manually. The game was gone. It was essentially not playable for anyone who didn't already own it. So whoever had it at that point was all that was left. If they could even get into the game, which they couldn't, because the DDoSing was just that bad. Titanfall 2 was almost in a similar boat with a but instead of the game being completely unplayable because there is no campaign, Titanfall 2 had a single player campaign that Titanfall 1 didn't. It was a pure multiplayer game on that front. You're probably thinking as well, for Titanfall 1, oh well, they can still get through the subscription services. That's the thing. On March 1st of the following year, it would be pulled from those services. So there's no way you could get it unless you got like a key off like G2A. For, you know, like the consoles or PC. Titanfall 2, it went on for so long. People were honestly thinking, there's no way this is gonna happen. Like, they're not gonna save this game. It's been sitting here running for months. They lied to us, but the game being a part of the core DNA of Respawn. They're thinking it's completely hopeless. We're fucked. However, on December 2021, something else happened. On December 23rd, the release of the modded client Northstar released. The way it kind of circumvented the DDoSing was that instead of being a part of EA servers, it was part of kind of like the Northstar team's own custom master servers. Which is why when you boot it up the first time, it would request, you know, your kind of, you know, your account token of kind of like let you into the servers. But what Northstar led to happening was that what would happen is it allowed for a lot of mods to really be a lot more possible compared to beforehand, if there even were any mods. There were custom weapon skins, pilot skins, Titan skins, custom voices for Titans, custom announcer, like that Halo announcer when you got double kills and triple kills and all that shit. It was so cool. There were also custom game modes. Like on the release of the client, there was Fastball, a 5v5 elimination mode where the round would start with BT throwing you in with the fastball technique from the campaign. And then for the client's 2nd year anniversary of its release, they released a parkour mode. You know, you know the gauntlet from Titanfall 2, right? You progress through this gauntlet as fast as you can, going through the obstacle course, eliminating the enemies to get like a fast time. It was like that in terms of its function for the leaderboards. It was on different maps, like there's one of the maps was War Games. You go as fast as you could on the map for a global leaderboard. It was actually it was pretty cool. I kind of wish I was there to play that, but I don't know. Got way too addicted to the vanilla game since its servers, as of this year, also just kind of in 2023, they are playable again. Which, speaking of the vanilla game, I need to real quick talk about the regeneration feature that I was completely fucking forgot about. So for a quick rundown, it functions as essentially Call of Duty's Prestige. You reach level 50, the max level of the game, you get the option to regenerate, which would completely remove you of all your unlockables unless you bought them with credits. So any weapon like all your weapons, your titans, all that shit, unless you bought them with credits or you own the Ultimate Edition, which gives you all the abilities and titans anyways, you have to re-unlock everything through leveling. But with this regeneration comes some rewards. For generations 1 through 10, there are different pilot camos, from like, piss yellow or stoic gold, if you will, to like, a white, the dark stoic dark, the black one, the stoic dark. And then for emblems and calling cards, it would be like every, I think it was like 10ish to 20 generations. It goes up, I don't know how much exactly, but it literally goes to the highest generation of Gen 100. And it's fucking insane. And I think also the other cool thing is that the little icon for your level, which when you first start is just like a blue circle, also progresses. Like at Gen 100, it's literally like, it's a red one with like an X in it. And it's actually pretty fucking cool because it shows, hey, I've been at it. I've been at this game for so goddamn long, you have no idea. Kind of status. Like the prestige in Call of Duty. Now let's talk about the other weird thing that kind of came from a couple days ago. From, I believe, Tuesday of this week. Originally I was going to talk about kind of the mixed signals I got from just kind of Apex Legends, how it feels like kind of, they respect the Titanfall franchise, but it also kind of feels like they're spitting on it a bit. But I gotta talk about this instead, because this is vastly different and a lot more interesting to talk about. I think it's something kind of more, I guess, in line with Titanfall. So on Tuesday, there was a leak for a game set in the Titanfall universe, directed by the original Titanfall director. This is interesting. And also terrifying. So, the reason why it's kind of interesting is because the leaks have been saying it's not Titanfall 3. Which kind of leads up to the question: is this like a pure just multiplayer, like 6v6 game, where it's just like that pilot v pilot and Titan v Titan combat that we've been loving so much in Titanfall 2, just refreshed for like a new experience for everybody to play now, with the hopefully significant improvements in regards where it's needed? Or is it a single player game? Because that would be pretty interesting. Like, what would they write for a single player game set in Titanfall's universe? Because Titanfall 2 was kind of like the end of the Frontier War. Like, that was it. Like, Titan was destroyed, and it was just kind of like a downhill for the IMC there. So when they talk about a different perspective on Titan from either like an IMC or someone else in the militia, it's a kind of an interesting thing to go off, and that's a nice thing to think about. It's like, ooh, what could they be doing? But then there's the other part of it. The other part that kind of, I think needs to be a bit of a wake up call for a lot of Titanfall fans. A lot of people I may have seen this on like Titanfall Twitter. Is people saying, oh, it's not Titanfall 3, I don't give a shit. It's not Titanfall 3, it's gonna suck, it's gonna be trash, it's gonna be another fucking Apex thing. And I say this in the nicest way I can: wake the fuck up. You don't want Titanfall 3. You just don't. Not in today's age of gaming. You just don't want it. You know you don't. That little bit in your head telling you don't really want it, listen to it, you don't really want it. Because here's the thing, right? A lot of AAA games within the FPS market specifically kind of fall within the same category of like $20 skins and battle passes. Titanfall 3 will be no different. It might completely throw out the progression system that Titanfall 2 had with regenerations and these skins and shit to sell microtransactions. $20 Titan skins, $20 pilot skins, $20 weapon skins, $20 Titan OS voice, $10 battle passes, fucking $15 or $20 goddamn battle passes. It's going to be it's going to follow the anti-consumer fucking shit that Call of Duty has done, that Apex does. It's going to follow that shit. It's not going to be like Titanfall 2 in that regard. You don't want it for that. The multiplayer was fun It's fun, sure, and it could probably be just as good, if not better, in a possible Titanfall 3. But you're going to lose the other half, the smaller part of the game that nobody really thinks about, to a paywall, multitude of paywalls. It will not be the same. It won't. I would love a Titanfall 3, but it's not going to be what we want it to be. It's not going to be what we dream of it being. I'm going to just kind of sit, play by ear on whatever news we get. I imagine if it is a legitimate project that will not get any kind of cancellation, it will be announced on the franchise's 10th anniversary. Like, there's just no shot that it doesn't. Because if they don't, that's going to be fucking weird. It's probably going to also raise a lot of red flags in the community of it either being fake leaks or what they fear of it being kind of like an Apex project rather than a Titanfall project. Like the canceled Titanfall Legends, where that was kind of like the mix of the two. It would have been very fucking cool. But that's kind of besides the point. That's besides the entire point of what I'm trying to talk about, which is really just you don't want a Titanfall 3 unless you're an absolute sucker who will buy every single microtransaction that there is. You don't really want nor need Titanfall 3 because that's what it's going to be. But, still, that doesn't mean fucking give up on the idea of Titanfall 3. Like, kind of just hold on to that little feeling that it may exist someday and it may be what we want, what we hope it to be. Just, hope for the best, but expect the worst. Because it's modern age gaming, lots of microtransactions, all that shit. But I'm really, really holding out for this, for the new Titanfall project that's being leaked out. I'm gonna really hold on to that set and hold on to it like every fucking fiber of my being that I can, and just hope that that's fun. Just hope that's good. Hope that's what I want. I just kind of want like a nice experience, something fun. If it's got single player, a good, nice single player to kind of tie the story. Not only tie the story, but just be a nice story that fits in the universe. If it's a multiplayer game, hope that's not ripped to the brim with goddamn microtransactions. It probably will be, but that's fine. I'll fucking hold on to the idea that maybe it won't be. Have a good fucking night.